So, hello to all of you. Eða komið sæl, as we would say in our language. And thank you for inviting us to your beautiful city and this great conference all the way from Iceland to tell you about our little project and the exhibition 1238, The Battle of Iceland. My name is Áskell Heiðar Ásgeirsson, and I'm a project manager at the museum, and I'm also assistant professor at our local university. And here is Freyja, our current manager of 1238, and she will be coming here and finishing this presentation. But first of all, I would like to show you a short video to brief overview of our museum.
That was amazing. I didn't expect it to be like so just circular, like everywhere, like actually interact everywhere with it and turn and be able to see it all. It was actually amazing.
That was great. I like that my chest was like vibrating. And then when you get to grab the rocks and throw it, I think I killed like maybe 5 people, hit 5 people. It was pretty accurate. It was a great experience. I would do it again.
Every nation and every society has a historical site, a scene of an event that has changed the course of its history and left a mark that maybe still presents in the soul of the nation. Tourists flock to these places, soak up the atmosphere and try to visualize the events in order to understand, appreciate, enjoy, experience, and be able to truly say, I was there. One such place in Iceland is the scene of the Battle of Örlygsstaðir, a fateful scene where power over Iceland were contested, where 2 family clans fought over who would rule the country, with the Norwegian monarchy and the church authorities mixed in the fight. On August 21st, 1238, on the fields of Skagafjörður, as you can see here in this video, these clans clashed in the largest and most fateful battle in Iceland's history. The story of the Battle of Örlygsstaðir belongs to Sturlunga Saga. It is a story about the end of the Icelandic democracy and the end of a system the settlers in Iceland has developed in the decades since they settled the island in the 9th century. An event like the Battle of Örlygsstaðir not only deserves a worthy place in history, the story deserves to be told, and also provides an opportunity for us to use the history to try to see modern events in perspective and maybe even learn from the past. And what we at 1238 decided to do is to tell the story of the past in the present with the technology of the future. That provides a unique opportunity in cultural tourism. First, a little bit about the idea behind this project and the environment in which it grows. We are located in the town of Söðakrókur in the north of Iceland, about 3 hours drive from Reykjavik on the magnificent Arctic coastway. Iceland is known for its nature and its spectacular landscapes, but also an island of the sagas. And dating back to the settlement times, Iceland's history with its literacy and cultural heritage provides great insights into the societal developments in Northern Europe over the centuries. And the region where we are located is known for its rich history and culture under an abundance of historical sites, cathedrals, turf houses and battlefields. But it also is a little bit out of the beaten path. When starting this project, the main idea was to create a new magnet to promote the town of Söðakrókur and to add an interesting stop to an already rich variety of stops in Iceland for heritage-seeking tourists. And finally, the goal was to bring to life this saga that I've mentioned, called Sturlunga Saga, and its main events, battle that took place in our surrounding area. We put focus on 4 big battles: the Battle of Örlygsstaðir, the battle in Húnaflói Bay, the Battle of Haugsnes, and Flugumýri Arson. These events took place in the 1200s and can only be described as a civil war that ended up with Iceland losing its independence to Norway, which took us about 700 years to gain back. All these battlefields are within a 30-minute drive from our location, so we are truly in the middle of the stage when it comes to this dramatic storyline. We wanted to create an interesting exhibition and an interesting experience, and along with traditional exhibitions setups such as text, pictures, artifacts and costumes, we put our emphasis on gamification and digital storytelling. Using cutting-edge modern technology such as virtual reality and augmented reality to tell these stories and create an experience that transports our guests into the past. It is in this soil that our project was planted in 2017 when a municipality and the private investors with interest in cultural heritage tourism started a collaboration that resulted in opening up this exhibition, 1238 Battle of Iceland, in June 2019. As you all know, it was perhaps not the best time to open a new tourist destination, but through the pandemic we put more focus and emphasis on developing our technological solutions. And now, after over 5 years of running, and with the experience and knowledge that we have gained in this time, on this journey, we are ready to help other museums, exhibitions and historical sites on the road to integrate more technology into their stories. And here you can see the house in which we are located in the town of Söðakrókur. Gamification is an ideology that aims to make subject interesting and fun so that the guest immerses in the game. The term is widely used in innovation, product development, marketing, computer games, management, learning, teaching, and last but not least, in the discussion of cultural communication. All over the world, companies, institutions, schools, and communities are faced with the challenge of having to look for ways to utilize technology and the psychology of gamification to stimulate interest in history, stories, and storytelling, as I'm sure many of you know. The uniqueness of this project here, lies in the focus that we place on using innovative technology to present a world of stories, to appeal to wider audiences, while also being informative and interesting at the same time, using the ideology of gamification. When we decided to use virtual reality to bring an old battle to life, we had few key things we wanted to achieve. We wanted to stay true to the story and not to lose sight of the story in the technology. We wanted to make an immersive experience and our guests to interact and take part in a battle instead of only watching. To do this, we added the shock quests you can see guests wearing in the video, and we decided that our guests would pick up stones and spears and fight in the battle. We wanted to do our best in making the environment of the battle as real as possible by recreating accurately the landscape of the site. We wanted to make an experience that people could connect to, regardless of their background, age, and etc. And we also wanted to make an experience that is fun and interesting as a game, a balance between a game and the storytelling. We always have a staff member in our VR room that welcomes our guests, help them put on the VR gear, and explains the experience to them. Once a guest is inside the experience, we keep an eye on them, of course. It is possible to walk onto the walls, but virtual walls inside the experience should keep guests safe. Watching others play is more fun than we anticipated, and when couples, families, or groups visit, it can be very lively with those watching, laughing at those who are playing, and taking pictures and videos. The VR experience is 12 minutes and in 4 chapters. The journey starts in a virtual museum, you can see that on the video, where visitors can look at weapons and artifacts virtually and even pick them up and play with them. Edda, our flying storytelling guide, explains the context of the story and the background and introduces you to Sturla, our chief, as you follow into the battle, the guy you've been seeing here on the horse. After this visit to the virtual museum, you are brought through a time gate, a portal that takes you back to the year 1238 on the day of the Battle of Örlygsstaðir. Once we have found our feet in the 1200s, we practice our rock and spear throwing skills, and then the plot thickens when the clan is attacked by the locals. You are then taken to the actual battlefield, where you get spears, rocks, and a shield. The enemy shows no mercy, and you will feel on your shock quest when you are attacked. The experience ends when Sturla loses his spear. You grab it and you bring it back to the virtual museum to give back to him this famous spear called Grásida. Now I'm going to say Köszönöm, and over to you, Freyja.
Thank you. To sum up our experience of using VR for storytelling, it is fair to say that we are satisfied with the outcome. We base this on the feedback we get from our guests, but regardless of age and background, most people enjoy the experience, and the reviews we've had are very positive. We've had over 50,000 visitors and found that very, very few, only a handful of people, have experienced the known side effect of VR sickness, less than 0.1%. The VR experience is, broadly speaking, what we wanted it to be. It is fun, it educates, and it brings up the adrenaline. All kinds of people connect with it. People that arrive claiming that they are afraid of computer games, mainly older people, really enjoy the experience when they decide to try it, and families really enjoy experiencing it together. Researchers have shown that a visit to a museum provides a unique setting for social bonding. People like to visit museums and in general experience culture with friends and family, creating shared memories and experiences. And when people have enjoyable, positive and impactful experience, they are eager to share it with others, visit the museum again, or visit other museums. One of the bonuses we did not know of before we started is that it's very funny to watch other people play. And people often enjoy watching their friends and families almost as much as participating themselves. Museums create these opportunities for intergenerational interactions. The heritage cycle outlines the relationship between understanding, valuing, caring, and enjoying. Cultural heritage must be understood, valued, cared for, and enjoyed in order to be shared. By using virtual reality, we provide a wider foundation for understanding of complicated events, exploring historical sites and artifacts. The hands-on exposure fosters a deeper understanding of heritage, going beyond traditional learning methods. By understanding, we value more and develop a greater appreciation for the cultural and historical. Virtual reality can help make heritage more meaningful. When we value, we care for. Understanding and valuing heritage naturally leads to the desire to preserve and protect it. And when we understand, value, and care for, we enjoy more. Making heritage enjoyable, especially for younger audiences, is crucial for sustaining interest. Virtual reality that is entertaining and enjoyable not only makes learning more engaging, but also encourages repeated interactions, reinforcing the entire heritage cycle. When we care for heritage, we want to enjoy it more, and by enjoying it more, we value it more, etc. To sum up, using VR to immerse audiences, young audiences, in heritage experiences not only aligns with the heritage cycle, but also addresses the evolving preferences of a tech-savvy generation. It holds the potential to ignite a lifelong interest in cultural preservation and appreciation. As mentioned earlier, the big aim of our company is twofold: to build an interesting exhibition and to develop products that can be added to other exhibitions and museums to help them on their road to integrate more technology into their stories. We have several projects in development. We have the digital audio guide with augmented reality, which we are using in our exhibition and are now developing further with, for example, Glömbar, the local heritage museum, and Reykjanes UNESCO Geopark. In both cases, we provide the technical solution, the training and the support in running, and the collaborative partners provide the content, the story they want to tell. We then work closely with our partners to understand their specific stories, themes, and educational goals, and we provide guidance on how to make the content more engaging, educational, and suitable for a diverse audience. We have the Book of Sagas that we set up to honor the writing of the sagas and our heritage when it comes to storytelling. It is interactive, guests turn the pages, and visual content is projected on the book and then changes. They can also press on buttons on the pages to get more information. This book has been very well received by our guests, and we have plans to add more books to our exhibition. The concept of this interactive book is, as with all kinds of books, is that it can be used to introduce a variety of sagas that cover different themes, historical periods, or aspects of local culture. Then we have the development of guest exhibitions, which we have, for example, in Viking World in Reykjanesbær in Iceland. And few other similar ideas are brewing in our company. For example, in Norway and in Sweden, and we are in discussion with museums and cultural heritage sites in Canada, but Icelandic heritage in Canada has deep historical roots, primarily stemming from settlement of Icelanders in Manitoba in late 19th and early 20th centuries. We are now looking to broaden our collaborative partnerships in Europe and within the European network. The long-term goal with these collaborations is to develop a customized VR experience for each and every collaborative partner based on the stories or experiences they want to develop. We work with a collaboration agreement where we can provide the equipment and software needed. We manage the full setup and train the local staff. Then we provide support and service throughout the process. The collaborative partner is responsible for providing the facilities and hire or dedicate staff needed. The timeline is generally 6 to 12 months of using the 1238 VR, gaining experience in building knowledge to service customers, fixing smaller problems, and in general becoming comfortable with these kinds of mediation of cultural heritage. Then we together we develop a storyline based on the content and the story to be told. Programming and developing takes from 12 to 18 months, and the new experience will be set up in the existing equipment. With this form, both us and our collaborative partners do not need to invest in advance in something that they will not like or not be comfortable with, and we minimize the financial risk for everybody. The 1238 VR experience, when set up as a testing and a guest exhibition, can either be an add-on that guests pay extra to visit, or included in the entry fee with an increase in the ticket price according to the added value. We have designed a collaborative model that minimizes financial risk, encourages experiential learning, and fosters long-term partnerships. And the results in the museum we have already set up speak for themselves. Viking World increased their visits by 17% in the first year and increased their income by 70% by increasing their entrance fee and having the 1238 experience included in the general admission. Their TripAdvisor rating has also gone from 3.5 to 4.5 within a year from opening the VR guest exhibition. Every nation, every society has a historical site, the scene of an event that has changed everything. Imagine being able to sail around the oceans with the Vikings, travel to ancient Rome, or fly the very first flight with the Wright brothers. The story of the past, told in the present, with the technology of the future, provides a unique opportunity in cultural tourism. Creating good memories while telling a meaningful story with a technology that is still developing is a challenge, and it's a challenge we really like. Thank you.